Hello everyone and welcome back to Gearhaven. We're still looking at what is going on here, but it seems like they're starting to add this all in now. So that's pretty good, which means very soon we'll be able to well, fill this up, connect this up. We'll see how it goes. Last time we had created the first tier of our farms, which means it is time now to place our second tier down. And, well, I guess now that they are using our soil for up here, yay. I did realize we don't have any storage. No, we do have storage. Dirt. Here we go. So let's put down our second tier. The way we're placing our second tier, first, of course, we need, well, a level. We need to figure out which level we're going to use. And I'm pretty confident that if we delete this path here and add more oil to this region, we'll be in much better shape. Here we go. And once all of that is in, we could actually remove the stairs. Yes, we do. So nobody gets caught down there. That would be a shame otherwise. Anyways, once they've filled all of this in, I actually do want to expand this a little bit more. Let's go ahead and add another layer of soil. Yeah, not like that. I still have the stuttering issue every now and then. Not entirely sure why. I can almost guarantee you it's not my computer. Anyways, we're just filling this up, which I think gives us a good overall layer of tiered farming. We're doing this pretty fast. If we even add a path in over here, yeah, they can't quite build that. All right. Anyways. We also need to get water down here. And I am wondering, yep, come on, you can do it. Good. We can actually build a tunnel under here, which will allow us to, yeah, didn't want to click that. Of course not. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, we needed one more. All right. No, actually, I don't want to put this one. No, I do want to put this one in yet. All right. Because once all of this is then in, all we need to do is put another platform underneath this one, and then we're good to go. However, we also need to make sure that our beavers will be able to get to these tunnels. So let's put a dynamite piece here. We're actually doing okay in terms of dynamite. We do have enough bots now, so we can replace you with bots. And that overall still looks really nice. What I think I am going to do, because we don't need the platforms in the back here, remove the path. We're going to clear out all of these from the platforms, which will allow us to recycle this. I kind of like the idea of having these strips of water there. Now, I do know in terms of evaporation, having single strips of water, not ideal, especially if they're just one deep. But I do think we do have a good amount of water here to supply our farming area appropriately. In addition, we're look at that. We're slowly building our way up here. Survive 20 cycles on one map. Well, why aren't you? Oh, you guys are actually done with all of this. Wow. All right. You need to be resumed. You need to be resumed. And the one in the corner as well. So they can keep building this up. Now we already know the fresh water is coming out okay. So that's pretty good. We had sealed off this corner back here, so we don't need to worry about any of that. And ultimately, yeah, they are now building this area here up again. Oh, look at that. They also finally finished that. Awesome. Which means we can go ahead and remove this path. Let me click. There we go. All the way to the back. And then we can replace this entire area with more oak trees. And we do have a few more gaps here. All right. Food-wise, I think overall we're doing okay. Our algae rations are also doing fine. Pretty good. Yeah, this will take a while. It's still fine by me. And what we could actually already plan for, so we don't need you guys anymore at all. So let's remove you, free up a bit of material, if it lets me. You down here as well. They can all pick this up. And to make our lives a bit easier, we're gonna go ahead and fill this up over here, right? Which means I need to put a overhang around here, and you need to be 2 wider. Perfect. There we go. And then give me a second while I fill this up with levees as well. All right, and I am back. Not entirely sure how much this will actually fill up. We will see. But that's overall okay. You are closing above downstream of the max, so I guess I could just... leave you open. Huh. Anyways. Alright. Let's go back to our farming, because that's kind of the nicer thing to look at. Alright. We do need a spiral staircase over here. So our beavers can go down there and wrap up the tunnels over there. And I think I'm quickly gonna go and high prioritize them all. I'm assuming I caught all of them. If a drought is coming, it's not too bad. Need to also high prioritize the spiral staircase too. All right. In the meantime, you guys are filling all of this up. Pretty cool. Now, do we need to fill this up? Could we have... Actually, that could look kind of cool. What if I have a little tunnel area, so to speak? Little overhang. I kind of like it. But we're also going to make sure that we're exploding this out whenever we can. And the way this hopefully works, and I will not guarantee for it, because beavers do stuff their own way. And yes, you can quote me on that. We're setting these to a highest priority. So whenever they can, I think, they will prioritize building this over the soil, which will be a good situation to be in. Waiting for the stuff below to be finished. Okay. I think that's overall all right. But the farming area is coming along quite nicely. And you do see that actually what we could do to improve our water retention is to explode this out 2 down. Not necessarily where we are placing these. Oh, actually even there. Well, I'm actually looking at this. Let's free up the resources. Nope. Can't do the first one. That is correct. And once this is in, which they're focusing on now, we're putting in the sluice, and then we can honestly just explode everything down here or out a bit more. Now that would mean temporarily removing our platforms, temporarily cutting us off from the food supply, which I think is okay. Food supply is still looking good. Yeah. And they should be done underneath now. Yep, they are. Let's explode you away. And for whatever reason, they're a little bit slow at the moment with getting stuff in place. That's okay. Come on, guys, pick it up. There you go. And then we're adding in a sluice. Where is it? Right up. Actually, why not place it here? Make sure you high prioritize that. Then we can focus on making this a little bit deeper. But overall, I think the farming area is coming along really nicely. Ah, look at that. The dynamite seems to be working as well, exactly as I intended. And then we do have enough space to place another tier farm level down this way. We'll need to see if we're utilizing it properly or if we don't need to. Always a bit worried about the water flow here. Look how fast it is. Crazy. I guess if I go ahead... Nah, never mind, never mind. Need to remove the dam pieces at some point. But that'll be a bit further down the line. They're doing a pretty good job at building all of this up, though. Do we have 23 unemployed beavers? Well, we are the Iron Thief. Let's go ahead. And go a little bit crazy. On here, on there, on there. 5, 6, 7. Oh, that's too many. Because that would be 28. So I'm removing 2 of you again. And then they can wrap up these. We'll set these to the lowest priority. So whenever they have nothing to do, they can go ahead and construct something. Oh, one more. All right. Because again, can't hurt to have more builders in our camp. Okay. You should be useless at this point. I'm hoping. Yep, you are, which means I can remove you. You're open, downstream depth of 0.5. Perfect. And now we are disconnecting you. Removing all of this. Yep. You as well. Highest priority for the pickups. And I don't think we have the space, and that's why they don't pick it up. Yep, looks exactly like that. So let's go ahead. Put in another industrial pile there. Can we put one more here? Actually, if we don't utilize this corner, I think we'll have an easier time. Although we do have this part here to go further up. But if we do this corner piece right there. And then we add the platforms on the top. Go ahead, copy this entire thing, duplicate, not cut. Anyways, set you guys on the highest priority. Keep an eye on the food. Still haven't picked all of that up. No storage, that makes sense. But very soon. There we go. Come on. 2 more logs. Where are we currently actually storing all those logs? Huh. Don't know. All right. But this is coming along, which means we can put down... We could even do a triple dynamite there. Sure. Why not? Why not? All right. The reason is we would need to put in too many platforms. Sorry, mates. If we put down a double dynamite, then a triple platform will be plenty of space. Not space, plenty of height for us to work with. Which I think overall will be quite good to have. All right, we're also removing you. And we're just going to fill in the gap. Actually, once you've picked up all of these, there we go. We can fill up the gap right here with another piece of soil. Okay. Doing still okay in terms of food. The food factory does help a ton. Now we do have a good amount of bots available, so let's swap one of you out. I do wonder how many beavers we currently have as builders. Anyways, doesn't really matter. This guy, this lonely forester, seems to be actually coping with this entire area. Our 4 lumberjacks are probably still a bit overkill. But yeah, not too bad. Oh, look at that. All of that is in. We're gonna detonate you. And while we're at it, let's make sure we're connecting in. Oh, you're already connected. Sweet. Do I see the water through there? I do not. But I see the gap there. Perfect. Which means now I can just fill this up with triple platforms. And as we've just learned, we have a ton of platforms. Actually, don't need them in the back here. Just where the connecting pieces are. Let's make sure you guys prioritize this. Shouldn't have done that in a drought, I guess. As I'm siphoning away the water from here. Oh well. But what we really need on top here is pathways. Because then you guys can build the rest over here as well. All right. A few more platforms in. Here we go. And while I'm at it without having any connection, if you guys enjoy my videos, please consider subscribing, leave a like, leave a comment. Let me know what you think of this terraced farmland. I quite like it, but maybe that's just me. All right. Anyways, let's get back to what we were doing. So they are putting in the last dynamites. They are not. They are already done. Here we go. Which means now we want to create a little bit of a space here. And I think this area we're going to do something slightly different. If we're going to go ahead and just build a little lake over there, I think that could look overall quite nice. And that should hopefully keep the entire area supplied with water. But we'll see about that in a second. I will remove this farm over here. I'm going to place you somewhere a little bit more meaningful. And that is right there. And then we're having one right next to that lake that we're creating. And the next thing that we need to add on top of that is a path over. All right, all of that dynamite is already in. Here we go. Good depth. And that should actually relatively quickly allow us to get to that bottom layer here as we go. Right, I'm actively leaving this part in. Now I could keep that here and turn all of this into platforms, but I don't think that's necessary. So we'll keep it at that. But for now, already placing in the dynamite, just so I don't forget. You guys are too fast. Alright, we do need more canola seedlings. And I think this entire corner is a good spot for canola. So that will be that. We do need soybeans, which I think we're just gonna add in the front here. We'll leave the connection actually to the top, to our other side completely intact. I will leave that, which means we can place a few more soybeans back there. And then we do still have corn and eggplant to go. Maybe a few more soybeans here. A bit more canola all the way in the back. So this way we're definitely good to go. And actually I will make it a little bit easier for our farmers to up here to actually utilize the area down here as well. So placing in, actually don't need the spiral staircase. Straight staircases, there we go. And then they should be able to relatively quickly connect up here. Now, I do think I'm actually going to explode this anyways. It's not that much water, I'm hoping. Even though we still have like 17.7 days to go. But with that in, I can actually unpause you guys. Unpause you guys. And this way we can also remove that farmhouse up here. Turning one of you into a bot farmhouse. Whoa, 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 whoa. What's going on? Couldn't you be closed? Close above downstream depth of 0.5. What is going on? All right, temporarily close you. Because that must be a wave that's propagating through here. And you can kind of see it over there. All right, which means... now I can set you back on auto. Yep, and that works really well. And this lake actually completely watered the area down here. Ha! That is kind of cool. You're still full. I think that's good. Leave it at 0.5 though. That did cost us a good amount of water, but I think overall we're still okay. Now, making this look a little bit better. Maybe not a little bit better. Stop stuttering. We're removing you. And we're actually flattening all of this out. Because I think we can make a nicer connection back there and add a few more plants if we need them. Let's see, 713. I have completely forgotten that our mangroves are actually not enough to supply or to cover the demand for our beaver civilization, which means down here we probably want to add another mangrove farm. Which means we do want to tunnel into this and then take it from there. All right, I'm going to explode this away. Good. deleting you. And the pathway in the back as well. Here we go. And then we can fill in the staircase and the path over here, which I think will be quite nice. Now, this is a relatively long project, to be honest. Just to get to the point where we have a good amount of space for farming and our beavers are well supplied. However, when you look at the food supply, it does actually look pretty good. The big question is, and that is something that we need to figure out in the long run, is where do we store all the food? That'd be good to know. All right. Like I said, we do want to be able to build more farmland down here. So let's already plan for this a little bit, even though we're not going to finish it in this episode, which I think means first we build our halfway down here. And then from here, we'll first of all have a path. This path will also be fully connected as a... How far down is this actually? Is this close to the bottom? Kind of. So that's a 2 level down that would kind of work here. Yeah, but I think we don't really need 2 levels down. Instead, we're gonna go ahead and place our platforms in here. This should be completely covered up. And then we're gonna go ahead, because we need the mangroves. I'm gonna utilize this entire bad tide area to, well, place some of our mangroves. Right, temporarily, so we can make sure they actually reach all of this back here. We're gonna add the path in. We're already done over here. Damn, guys. And then we still need to figure out how to siphon the water from in here down there. But we've done this before, so that shouldn't be too much of a problem. It just means need one more explosive over here. And then we're gonna continue with our tunnels. And this is now 5 deep. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Perfect. Almost as if I have planned it. Right. In the meantime, let's quickly have you go around. Once the single dynamite is in, we can put the staircase down. And then I think we're in pretty good shape. This is also going to be kind of like filled in, basically. When we have more dynamite, seems like we have used it all up. And sometimes I really struggle with finding the words. And then we can already plan for a temporary forester. Can you reach all of this? Of course you can't. I guess if it is a temporary forester, we can place you here. I'm going to pause you. And then we do need a staircase down, which I think right here will be enough. We'll see. Because we do need our gatherer flag down here as well. But, you know, that is kind of future worries. Let's go all the way back down. How are you guys doing here? No priority. I guess that makes sense. Let me prioritize this now instead. And actually, I would have thought this through. There we go. Meaning I can remove this staircase again and already fill you up with soil. All right, here we go. Last piece. All right, now they are working on this. We have removed the farm from up here. Still doing okay in terms of food supply. The mushroom production seems to not be able to cope. Interesting. Yeah, we only have 6 fermented mushrooms. But maybe as we expand our food supply, all of this will get sorted. So we'll keep an eye on that. But in the meantime, we're removing the food supply from up here. Look at how many builders we have. And yeah, I know I did go overboard. There we go. Fill in all of you with oaks. And I think one of you with the bots will actually just be switched to the regular beavers. And now we have 2 unemployed bots. Perfect. There we go. A little bit of balancing of stuff. Awesome. All right. But with that, I'm going to call it an episode. So thank you all for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Bye-bye.